Hi, my name's Ethan Lawrence.
This is Jesse Leach from Killswitch Engage.
Hi, I'm Scotty Wartooth.
Hi, my name's Sean Smith.
Hi, my name is Deershot Kiva.
Hey, this is Ryan McCombs from the band Soil.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Raging Cajun Lash LaRue.
Hi, my name is Amelia and I'm the founder of Goth Frog Productions, and you are listening to the Chronicles of Podcast with Tom and Jamie. Slaaay!
Ladies and gents, theys and thems, this week we are here to talk all about our good friends at the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, because this week's guest, like us, is an ambassador for the foundation. They're owner of a new production company that has given me a mental image that's had me giggling like a small child all morning. Goth Frog Productions. I mean, can you imagine Kermit the Frog singing Sisters of Mercy? Fucking mwah, beautiful. Anyway, here to talk all about Sophie's night and her production and the foundation and everything. Put your hands together as we bring you the Chronicles of Amelia Gray.
Yay!
Yay!
Jamie, what would Kermit the Frog sound like singing Sisters of Mercy?
I won't lie, I was doing it earlier.
Go on.
Yeah, I need proof.
Narrow brings corrosion to me.
That's the best thing that this interview we're done. No, I'm joking.
Bye, guys.
I was doing that all this morning when I was doing my questions. Really. Anyway, sorry.
So, Amelia, how has your personal Thursday been?
Chaotic. We've just launched an event today, and that's been very chaotic because I launched it whilst I was in a spinning class. So, yeah.
As in, we're spinning, or spin class in the bike.
Yeah, as in the bad one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as in the one that's I need to go to bed, but here I am. It's fine.
Well, we appreciate you being here, but what's this you've launched?
We've launched our first event for 2025, which is the Nightmare After Christmas. It's a Gothic masquerade ball, a second Halloween, if you will. We've got 3 bands playing. It's just a overall very spooky night. All ticket sales have a large proportion will go to the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, and we're going to see if we can get like a raffle going, best dressed or something.
Amazing.
That's
Why'd you launch it during a spin class though?
I don't know. I feel like it's the ADHD. It makes me do like 9 things at once, but I do them somehow.
I love that. It's like, come on, it's good. Oh, hang on a minute. I just gotta, yeah. So we've got the snack. Yeah, it's like, squatting, right? Okay, so we're doing something.
It's keeping my mind distracted. I don't realize how much I'm working out.
Spin classes are disgusting. I used to do them years ago, and I used to go to the gym in the day and go back for them later. What the fuck?
Oh, that's what I do. I'll be in work all day and then I'll go to a spin class. I didn't realize how angry I was until I started doing it, and I'm coming home thinking, man, I'm feeling calm. Yeah. I'm feeling fine.
You should take it on a bike for an hour.
Exactly. It's fine. I'm going up a hill. I'm like Kate Bush.
Please tell me you sing that while you're doing it.
Yeah, that was literally on today.
Oh, I love it.
That's incredible. So, Amelia, how we like to start these things is we like to take you all the way back to when you were a young, small child, shall we say. What was that early aspiration for yourself? What did you want to be when you were growing up? Has it always, I know you were heavily involved in music and musical theatre. Has it always been that for you, or was it something completely different?
I think I've always wanted to be a singer. I've always been a bit of an attention seeker, to be honest. So, if I was ever singing, I was doing it for attention. I did want to be a mermaid originally, but obviously that's not really a career path that will land me with a house or anything, So a singer it is.
Might get a nice rock in the ocean, but not a house.
Yeah, and maybe a rock, maybe Atlantis. Somewhere.
I mean, there are mermaids now, aren't there? And not the Sea Life Centre. That's weird. But isn't there a video of someone dressed as a mermaid and then they can't actually? They get stuck, and she's like struggling to. I think I've heard since she get I can't remember. I'm waffling.
I can't swim, so I can't swim at all. So that would have been awful for me. I would have just been floating like a piece of coral.
I'm sorry your mermaid aspirations didn't work out for you.
No, but the music has. It was like, the fallback did. That was fine.
Oh, there we
No.
go. It's better to get
Yeah.
one thing out of better than both.
So
Yeah.
with the whole music thing and everything, then has it always been alternative, or did you start off with like boy bands, or like what about influences as well?
I think like the first I remember like listening to, I was very influenced by Guns N' Roses because that's what like was ingrained on me by my brother. And then obviously I had dad music coming from Genesis, who I saw live because of my dad. And yeah, it's kind of just like a mixture of like, electronic 80s was my thing as a kid as well. So whilst everyone was into JLS, I was like, Gary Newman, yeah. Trying to have a conversation with like 10-year-olds as a 10-year-old about Gary Newman was practically impossible. But here I am.
So, yes.
Yeah. they just didn't get it.
Is that where that love of alternative music came from, though? Like your family members?
I think so. I think like, I don't know. I've always had like a draw over to like alternative subcultures and like stuff like that. It's one of those things that I feel like I do it now. When you just like, you're walking down the road and a kid looks at you and I'm like, I've influenced you. That must have happened to me as a child. I've probably seen like an alternative person and thought, I want to be that. Yeah.
I like that because obviously there's normally, and we all discuss it, there's normally a lot of negativity placed upon being in this community. It's like, I've never thought about it like that. Like at some point, someone has probably seen some of the alternative community and gone, that is how I want to look and dress. That is fucking cool. I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
But obviously there is that distinction between a fan of alternative music and then being alternative, if that makes sense. Because I know loads of people that listen to rock music, but you wouldn't catch them dead in wearing black and a battle jacket any day.
Oh.
So what was it that drew you to that alternative aesthetic, as it were?
I think I've always liked experimenting with style, and it's just felt very natural for me to wear things that aren't kind of conventional. Like ever since I was younger, I've always shopped in charity shops and always had like really quirky things. Before it was like a popular thing, I was just raiding charity shops and everyone's like, you got that from a charity shop. And I'm like, yeah, I did. But I think the thing that kind of pulled me more to be more like extravagant in the way that I am was definitely recovering from an eating disorder, because I kind of, the way it kind of worked for me is that I viewed my body more as a canvas, and the bigger the canvas, the more art I can put on it. And that really helped me. And I know when I've expressed that to other people, they've always been like, that makes so much sense. And I don't know, it's just really helped me kind of make myself healthier, happier, is just being, authentically me.
I like that. First of all, that's incredible. Congratulations on recovery and everything like that. That's incredible. But that's a beautiful way to look at it. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Ooh, making me think all things today. So obviously you're known for promoting Sophie's Night and now annual night of raising funds and awareness for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. But before we talk more about that, I wanted to learn more about your history with the foundation. Mm-hmm. So how did you originally become aware of the foundation and Sophie's story?
I'd heard of them from through social media and like becoming more involved with the alternative scenes. Like you see it at like Download and Bloodstock, and like basically any heavier band will will show some of Sophie Lancaster Foundation's work. But the first time that I was properly kind of like invested with them was the Coronation Street storyline, because my parents were watching Coronation Street, and I was always really like interested in, is the character called Molly? I think she is. Yes. And I was always really interested in her because I was like, everyone needs representation on like the television, I think, and like everyone kind of like is drawn to a character. And I remember like your parents will always force you to watch a soap opera, but that character was always the reason why I'd like keep watching it and not be on my phone. And yeah, that story really kind of hit me, because it did really open my eyes to the fact that people were discriminating me based on how I was dressing and and what the outcome could be if we didn't spread awareness and stop people's hatred and intolerance towards us. So it kind of opened my eyes to how severe it actually is. So then I started kind of following different like events that they'd done, different like fundraising stuff, like them on social media. And it wasn't really until uni that I was like, you know what, I want to start fundraising for this, because I think living in a big city like Manchester really opened my eyes once again to how people mistreated me. You know, just walking down the street and people would shout things at me, and like people follow you around. People wouldn't let you serve them in shops for some reason. Like I used to work in Build-A-Bear, and I've had some people before that, you know, wouldn't be served by me based on how I looked. Yeah, I've had it all. I've had it all over the place. But you know, especially being in a university which didn't have a lot of alternative representation, I was thinking, well, this is my last year in uni and I really want to kind of hit it home. That's something that I just wanted to do. And I've always done charity events like throughout my life, but this is the first time I've kind of done it like as me. And I, you know, music is the one thing that, regardless of what you dress like, what you look like, will bring everybody together. And I thought that's the best way to kind of raise awareness, is bringing all of these different scenes together and kind of going forward like that.
I love that.
What I don't understand why, just because we look a little different, that people go, oh no, I will get my bear from this person over here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like, you know,
it's happening like Starbucks as well. And I was like, I swear every Starbucks barista is alternative. They have to be. Yeah. It's part of the rule book. You have to have a piercing to work in Starbucks.
That and CEX. You're not working here unless you're a bit alternative.
Exactly.
I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, what like? Is it because of the kids? It's the whole thing with all the transgender, the LGBTQ stuff that go on in the States and everything as well. It's like, oh, well, you should not teach my children this because you will heavily influence them to become this. I don't understand it. Help me, please. Daddy never loved me. It's like that sort of shit. But you never see an alternative person beating the living fuck out of someone in the middle of the street, do you? You never see an alternative person shouting obscenities at people ever.
No, and I think that's, as a child, that was like, it was so big to me that every alternative person I ever met, I felt safe with. I felt like I was fully accepted. And that's why I always say to, like, you know, people now, like, tell your kids if they're ever lost, go and find an alternative person, because they will definitely look after you.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, absolutely agree. And it's funny what you were saying then. I resonated with a lot, because I remember when I was younger and I was going to school, I was pretty much the only alternative kid there. I don't look like it now, but when I was younger, I had piercings and I had long black hair and everything like that. And I used to get treated horribly, and I used to think, is it me? Is it something I've done?
Yeah.
What people just? And then when I found a group of alternative people I'd hang around with in town, I'd be like, nah, there's loads of us, and they're all being treated like this. It's not just me.
It was just like, it's the sense of community that I get from it, because I'm autistic as well. It's always been a social, you know, there's always been social constraints. But every time I've been around alternative people, I felt like suddenly I can talk. I suddenly have a voice. You know, suddenly people are actually interested in the things that I'm saying, the things that I'm doing. And, you know, you don't get that a lot in just kind of like basic kind of groups of people. There's a lot of, you know, intolerance towards not only like how you dress like, but what you're interested in, like how you talk, how you communicate. Is always a big issue, but it's never been like that with alternative people. That's why I feel like I've like found my place, and I you know, I want my events to be something like that other people can find friends, find their place in the community, because it's so important that, you know, we all support each other. We don't want any internal wars.
No. I mean that is the point I was going to bring on to next. You said it there. I think that is why gig culture and music festivals and stuff are so important to this community, because it's like we can all just get together and be like, we can relax now.
Yeah, I think that was the thing when I was at Download. I went in 2023, and I was like, oh my God, I don't have to, worry what I'm dressed like, what my makeup's like. And I came home and it kind of just like hit me. I was like, guess I'm a bit out of place now back in university.
You should be able to do whatever the fuck you want. Really.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
You should be able to just be you. That's the whole point. You know what I mean? It's like, I know we have these big bloodsucker bladders, obviously it's like one big family, and you feel like you can be yourself and you feel safe because you know you're not going to get ridiculed or screamed at or shouted at or whatever. But then you should be able to go back into the mainstream real world and be able to be like, yeah, this is who I am. Why don't you fuck off? Yeah. What's it got to do with you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because you're not brave enough to put corpse paint on or makeup on or like the way you know what I mean? It's just like, stop being jealous. Just leave me alone.
Literally.
Yeah. Just damn, you can't look this good, girl. No.
Play this hard, girl.
But obviously, we talk about music a lot. I'm intrigued, like, who some of your favorite bands are. Some of the people that you've been, as a lot of people say, lyrics have saved me music. But is there anything like who's been there for you, sort of musically?
I do have to say, Korn were like the band that got me through so many hard times. And I think, I was really struggling with substance abuse. I was really struggling with alcoholism. And again, I didn't know I was autistic. So I was kind of like using these things to cope with everything that was going on. University was like the worst part of my life. I started it when I was in hospital for my mental health. I came out, I was assaulted, everything bad just kind of happened in university. And Korn were the band that, I'd listen to, and kind of like all the lyrics just kind of like resonated with me. I was like, damn, like these guys get me. And then I saw them at Download, and then I saw them at Gunnersby Park. And every single time I'm just like, I keep going on about Korn. I just love Korn. Even my TikTok name's Goth Frog.
So you'll be at Download next year then, I'm guessing, yeah?
Oh yeah. As soon as I saw you, I literally blew my throat out. Like I saw them be announced. I screamed. I was like, I knew it. Jonathan Slaaay this.
I love incredible. Like growing up for me, Korn were huge 20 odd years ago. Like I used to listen to them all the time. I had hoodies, like everything that you could imagine. I absolutely loved them growing up as well. But I had a point to this, and now I forgot my point. Yes, I was going to say I wanted to firstly massively apologise for the fact that happened to you, for the fact that you were assaulted. That sort of thing is disgusting. It should never happen to anybody ever. But I feel like obviously as an alternative female, you seem to get targeted more than alternative males do. And I feel that that's something that needs to be addressed, as well as obviously just the alternative side of things anyway, but also being female, I imagine you get heavily targeted by people.
Yeah, I think people see it as like it's a kink or something, the way that I dress, and like it's a fetish. And it's so weird, like, like on social media, and I can't post like a picture of my outfit. I can't like post videos of me in an outfit because it always gets so overly sexualized. And I'm like, I'm literally just dressing. Like, this is just the way I am. You know what I mean? I'm not doing this for your eyes. I'm doing it for myself.
Yeah, these are clothes, and this is how I wear them. Like, fuck off. I don't understand why this has become a thing now, where people feel that they have every right to jump in the DMs and be like, lad culture, hate it, fuck off.
Yeah, literally. You'll want a goth girlfriend until we're actually dressed like goths. Apparently.
I don't understand what's going on, because like you're saying, it's so overly sexualized now. And it's people just wanting to be the... I remember seeing the phrase, what was it, goth mommy, I think I've heard somewhere. And I was like, why? Why is that a thing? Like, go away. Ew. But like, people just trying to be themselves. Like,
literally.
I can literally remember it now, actually. It was a girl on TikTok, and she was literally... I don't even think she was dancing. I think she was miming to a song. That was it. And someone was like, goth mommy in the comments. And I was just like, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Grim.
Why?
But it pushes people away from dressing the way that they want to, because again, you dress conforming in a conforming way and you're sexualized. You dress in a way that is authentically you and you're sexualized. So where do we stand?
Yeah, you're absolutely bang on. So I imagine you find it really challenging to express your individuality in this mainstream world.
Yeah. I feel like it was a problem in university as well, because, you know, my assault was very covered up. And people weren't helping me. You know, I'm always a girl support girls, but I'll support everybody. But I feel like it never happened to me because, you know, I'm alternative, I'm autistic, I'm problematic for those reasons apparently. And, you know, everyone fell silent on me. And the only reason that I could think of that is because I am different. You know, people are always preaching, you know, feminism and helping other people until it comes to people like me and they won't help. And, you know, it needs to change. Yeah. You know, everyone deserves help. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter, you know, how you're brought up. If you face the things that I've faced, you know, worse, less, doesn't matter. It's still valid and you still deserve help.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It terrifies me as a parent because my daughter's 12 years old and she's shown an express interest in dressing like a goth now. Like she's like, Daddy, for Christmas, can you buy me goth dresses and big boots? I'm like, you fucking right, I can, kid. But there is that worry in my head because it is that society thing now. It's like, oh, she's wearing short, like gothy dresses and tights. So I bet she's asking for. No, fuck off. Because that is the mentality that seems to come these days, and it needs to fucking stop. Literally. But it does worry me letting my daughter go out there and express herself the way she should. But at the same time, I'm like, yes, be yourself. It's finding that line.
I do think it is a massive worry for parents, not even only just that, but just like, especially with the kind of like hatred that there is at the moment, it must be like such a hard time for parents. Like it must be for, you know, my parents as well. Like I'm 23 now, but I didn't even know how old I was then. I'm 23 now, but it's still, you know, it still worries them. You know, me walking around, like going to town by myself or something because of what I could, you know, potentially go up against. Like I don't feel safe on public transport anymore. You know, I don't feel safe in a lot of places, and it's not just because I'm a woman or something. It's because I'm alternative, and that's literally the issue. You know, I shouldn't have to feel this way. I should, you know, hold my head in pride, and I always try to, but that fear is always lingering. And you know, sometimes I don't even feel like I can leave the house without some sort of targeting happening. It's getting ridiculous, to be honest. I feel like we are going backwards, and I feel like this foundation is the way forward. Yeah. And you know, that's the way I'm like, I need to do these events because, you know, for my own peace of mind, I would never want, you know, anyone, especially younger people, going through that type of stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Are there any like communities or spaces where you feel most at home?
I feel like I'm creating them for myself now because Amazing. I don't feel like, I don't feel like there's a lot of places at the moment for, I feel, there is when you're like a teenager, and I feel like there's, you know, youth places and stuff that people hang out, but I feel like as soon as you get to it, like adulthood, there's like nowhere for me to go. Like I don't drink anymore, so like I can't even go to like the pub and feel kind of like okay. Gigs are really the safe space that people can go to, you know, and I want these kind of events to go forward because, you know, I want other people who feel the same way as me to kind of like have a networking kind of thing, you know, and start hanging out with other people, just kind of come to the events. Like all of my team are so lovely. We will all talk to you. We will make sure we're your friends for the night and going forward. Because that is part of the night, inclusivity and acceptance, because that's all we want through the, you know, that's what we're aiming for.
There is hardly any goth nights. There's hardly any metal nights anymore. They're all gone. There's none.
Yeah, literally.
We have nowhere to go. I know clubbing's not really a thing anymore, but there used to be propaganda nights back in the day where we'd play rock and metal every Thursday. I used to fucking love going to those. That's gone. Do you know what I mean? It's just so nuts how like the mainstream world gets everything, and then we just get shafted to the side. It's like, oh, we'll play about an hour, and the heaviest we'll go is probably Franz Ferdinand. All right. Oh, take me out.
Oh, Christ.
It's painfully true though, and I know we're laughing and joking about it, but it's so true. And it's like, just going back to what you're saying earlier about still not feeling safe when you're going out, like, it's not just now as well. I think when you've been affected in the past, it stays with you, because I'm almost 40 years old, and no matter where I am, I still look over my shoulder. I know no one's going, I haven't got long hair or anything like that anymore, and I don't look overtly alternative anymore, but it's still there. It's in me. If I go to a pub, I'm like, is there going to be people coming in here starting shit because of the alternative guys? It's literally gigs. That is the only place I ever really feel like I don't need to look over my shoulder, because it's like, surely they're not going to pay like 60 odd quid to get into a fucking gig just to cause shit, are they? But so I completely get what you're saying. Like, gigs is the best place for us to feel safe.
Yeah.
Amongst our own.
Amongst our own.
Our own.
But I always love seeing the person that's like their gateway gig, and like, you know, they're kind of looking around, like, I can tell, I'll be like, next gig you're gonna have goth stomper boots on. I know you are.
Oh, I miss my new rocks.
Because I will make you wear them. That's why I've already got them for you right here. So.
One of us.
That should be like an initiation thing. We should stand one of them in the middle of a pit and chant one of us and circle them. They're either going to be so terrified they don't come back, or they're going to completely embrace it. And I'm hoping the second one.
After that, they just need to go sit down, because wearing a pair of new rocks for 20 minutes, you fucking.
I had some that I was on a very secret TV show, and I can't say anything, but the filming was really long, and I was wearing these huge boots the entire day. They got a lot of airtime. I didn't. The boots did, but oh my God, by the end of the day, I'd done like 20,000 steps in these, like, I'm 5'6", and they made me 6'2".
Holy shit.
I love them. They're my babies.
I just need to stand on a chair to put them on. Let's buy sticks and easy.
It's the closest to God I'm ever going to feel like.
But last year, or this year even, you started Sophie's Night this year, wasn't it? Yeah, it was back in March.
March. It was in March.
It was March. Because I was thinking to myself, why couldn't I go? But it's because of the States. I was thinking, why didn't I go to this? It was in Manchester. And I was like, because I was in America, that's why I didn't go.
Yeah.
But where did this whole concept and idea come from to start this, and to be like, let's start raising money for this wonderful charity, this wonderful foundation, and bring people together?
Well, we were given a kind of, for our fourth year in uni, we're given kind of like free reign on doing an event and kind of like putting it on. And, you know, a lot of people did like their own cabarets about themselves and like wrote pieces of music. But I really wanted to do something that incorporated the music that I loved, because I studied opera, and that's not inherently it's not inherently alternative. I mean, some parts of it are, but like, you know, it doesn't really have a big alternative scene.
Could you imagine? That'd be incredible.
I know. I'm hoping to make this a thing. Like, I want to do a classical music event of like gothic music.
By the way, so you said you were a singer. Does that mean you can sing opera?
Yeah.
Oh, Amelia, that is sick. Sorry. Carry on.
I'll sing anything. But anyway, I kind of like had the idea that I wanted to put on a gig, because I hadn't been to a gig in ages. Like this is like post lockdown, and I was like, oh my God, I need to put on a gig. Not going to want to put it on my own. And originally, the first concept idea was that I wanted to do kind of like a session orchestra kind of thing. So it would be like metal songs with an orchestra behind them, which I still really want to do. I feel like that needs to happen, kind of like orchestral versions, you know, like new versions. It's going to happen. It has to.
Has to.
But That kind of fell through because the time scale and a lot of people didn't want to get involved. I put the call out to everybody in the university and everyone was like, no, because again, I don't know.
Fuck's sake.
So yeah, so I kind of went further afield. I was like, you know what? No one in university is going to help me. I am going to put the call out for some bands and I'm going to see what happens. And the first people who got in contact with me were for Evanescence, who are the Evanescence tribute band. And I turned to my partner. I was like, holy shit, right, we're going. The ball's turning now. And I contact Rebellion in Manchester because, you know, it's a place that I've been to. I know it well. And I know that they get a good scene in there. And yeah, it kind of just all fell into place really quickly. And it was kind of over and done with. Like, it just flashed before my eyes. And I got like a lot of good reception from it, like loads of good feedback. And like people were like, when's the next one? And I was like, oh, I don't even think there is going to be a next one. And I was just kind of like pondering on it for a while. And then it was originally a Sophie's Night Instagram. And I was like, fuck it. It's going to be Goth Frog Productions now. We are Goth Frog Productions because Goth Frog Productions. And I came up with an acronym for it as well. So it all fits into place.
So was it an acronym originally or was it Goth Frog and you thought, hold on, I better come up with a reason for this?
It was Goth Frog, and I was like, okay, right, I need to have some sort of slogan now because I don't want people to just think it's Goth Frog, but I don't even care anymore. But it does have it's giving others, guiding others towards hope, freedom, respect, opportunities, and growth. There you go.
Oh,
thank you.
That's
very
good.
much.
That's very
I'll be
good.
here all week.
That's very good. I like it. But was there a specific moment or performance from that first event that was like, I want to keep doing this, or was it all afterwards from the feedback you got?
Well, the actual night it happened, I'm very critical on myself. So I didn't sleep the whole night. I was like really stressed that people wouldn't have liked it. And because I didn't want to let the foundation down. And I was really kind of like really tough on myself. But then I checked my Instagram and everyone had put stuff on their stories and were like, oh my God, this is such a good night. And like, come down and watch this, guys. And like, I was watching back my videos and everybody's singing along, like at the end, like, everyone from different bands and everyone looked like they were really enjoying themselves performing. And I was like, oh God, we can make a difference here. Like, I think this is the start of something. It kind of just like, it was that spark. It was the day after, because I feel like, I did it all by myself. So I was kind of just all over the place that night. And it was really like the day after. And I'd done a little interview with the alt couple who are on YouTube. And because they'd come to the event and I didn't realize that someone was going to come and document the event. I was like, oh, wow, I'm very honored for this. And I did a little interview with them afterwards. And like, the day after, I remembered all of that happened. And I was like, oh my God, this is the start. I'm excited now. But I need to get my degree out the way first. So I've done that. The degree's fine. That's gone out the way.
Yeah, that's out of the way. Fucking.
Yeah, that's fine. It's worst 4 years of my life, but it's fine. They're sorted. It's fine. Onwards and upwards.
But life truly begins now.
Yeah, life truly begins now that I've got my opera degree.
Yeah.
It's weird saying that.
I just love the fact you can get a degree in opera. That's some fucking
I know,
awesome.
I know. And I've got my graduation dress sorted. I got it from a charity shop. I think a goth died so I could be reborn.
Beautiful. That's so hauntingly beautiful. I love it.
I found it, and there was a lady in the charity shop, and she's like, I found a dress, and I was like, girl, show me the dress. And I said yes to the dress within 15 seconds. It's amazing. It's amazing. I've never seen something like it before. It's amazing. I'm going to be shit posted about that for like years as soon as I've worn it. I'll show it to the grandkids. This is me when I graduated in the goth dress. Lovely.
But every
You
week,
reckon you'll
Throwback
all know what
Thursdays.
listen to The Cure?
Every week on social media. Throwback Thursday to that dress I wore last week.
It was 3 hours ago.
I know you mentioned the acronym of the name earlier, but where does the name Goth Frog come from? Because it's fucking great.
I seem to have been like taken in by people from like the goth subculture, and like I was very like heavily leaning in towards that way. I always kind of have been, because like one of those bands that I wouldn't stop talking about when I was younger was The Cure as well, but I didn't realize they were a goth band. I just thought they were kind of funky. I was like, yeah, whatever. I was like, these are a funky band. That's fine. And also I have a very heavily that when autistic people have that thing. You know, and they won't stop talking about it, and every conversation seems to lean back to that. It's either frogs or RuPaul's Drag Race, so I can't really call it like, goth RuPaul. So, goth frog it is.
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
You just love frogs.
I just love frogs. I'm starting to get a frog leg, like done with all the tattoos. I'm getting them. I needed to get that out really quickly.
You get a frog leg. Oh, a tattoo. Okay,
a tattoo leg.
Yeah, I love it. It's like a leg sleeve almost.
Yeah, like I'm getting all different, and it's funny because then I can say to people I've got frog's legs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I like that.
I'm kind of like a little patchwork going on, like all different people's designs, and I've got a Build-A-Bear frog as well called Maurice, who comes everywhere with me, and he's got an Instagram, he's got a TikTok, he's doing better than me, and he's gonna make an appearance on my legs soon. I'm praying for Christmas. If you're listening to me, that I would really like that. I'd really appreciate that.
Hint, motherfucker.
Hint. No, honestly,
my daughter has a pink frog from Build-A-Bear. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Oh, a pink one! I'm so jealous.
I'm pretty certain.
Walking into my room is just like, there's another frog. There's another frog. There's a shrine of Korn. Another frog.
I needed frog with dreads.
Need. That's part of the tattoo now. Oh no, you're making me bankrupt.
Sorry. Frog on a leash. Anyway,
so what made you want to then expand this production, company, your non-profit organization, and then start building a team around it? Was it for the love of the fact that first night was so successful that you wanted to continue? It's like, I actually need people to help me out with this now.
Yeah, it's kind of a mixture of the fact that doing the event by myself was great and very rewarding, but I can't do it all by myself. I cannot do that. And like, I spent a lot, I invested a lot of my time into it that, it kind of like played its toll on my life a bit. I was like, I'm not complaining at all. Like I'm still very, very heavily invested in it. It's just like, I need to take a bit of weight off my shoulders, because if people don't tell me to stop, I won't. I will just keep going and burn myself out. Yeah. But also I was getting a lot of bands wanted to play for me who were from all over the country, but it's like I couldn't offer people a lot of money at that time because obviously, I didn't have the funds to do that. I paid for the venue myself. Everything came out of my pocket. And it's like, I want you at my event, but I can't pay like £100 for you to travel down. And that's kind of like going forward, I'm trying to make sure that my bands are fairly paid, because I feel that's a big thing in, alternative music as well. As like, I need live performance. People like to pay us in beers, and I don't like that. I think people deserve to be, well paid. But sorry, I just went on a tangent then.
You're good. We love tangents.
Yeah. I just tried to. I put like a little thing out for like volunteers, kind of like on the off chance that someone wanted to come and work with me, and I've got 6 people on my team now from all over, and I'm just love like. It. I always tell them I'm just so overwhelmed. Like, I never expected that people would kind of be part of the team and be so invested in it, and they've all kind of like put everything into it, and it always blows me away. I always have to just like keep reminding them, like, I'm so thankful for you guys. Like, we're all so like-minded and everyone just does their bit and everyone has such great ideas. And like, I don't know, I'm really optimistic about where it's going. And, you know, I really want the best for it and like going forward. Yeah. It's like my little baby. I've kind of nurtured it and it's like, it's growing.
Good. What we like. What do you hope to achieve though? Is there like a 5-year plan with it, or is it just see what happens?
Kind of like a mixture. Like I would like to turn this into like a full-time thing. You know, we want to get to a point where it's like, I don't know, as big as, you know, Gunnersby or something, you know, and you've got such a big turnout, and like the bigger we can get it, the bigger like advocacy we can get for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, because, you know, there's still a lot of people in the alternative community who have no idea what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is. Nope. And like I always talk to people about it. I'm like, you know, I feel safer, even though I don't, you know, I said before, I've got a lot of anxiety. I feel safer knowing that the Sophie Lancaster Foundation are there. Yep. You know, my day-to-day life, I feel like I can be myself because of them, and wholeheartedly because of them. You know, when other people haven't been there for me, I know that the foundation has been there. And that's, you know, I feel like their message just needs to be spread across everywhere. And that's why I want it to be like a full UK thing, because it affects all of us, like worldwide as well. It affects all of us.
Oh, absolutely. Like, we've spoken to so many bands and stuff like that, music festivals, and we talk about the foundation, about the problems of being alternative, and we say, are you aware of Sophie and her story? And a lot of the time, especially from outside the UK, it's no. Or oh, because it's a Bloodstock, oh, we're playing that stage, so we googled the name, like things like that. And but as I say, it's not a UK issue. It's a UK charity, but it's not a UK issue. It's a global issue. I say it every week on the show, because it is. People are being treated differently because they want to express themselves, and it's ridiculous. Yeah. But I completely get what you mean, though. They make you feel so much safer just knowing they exist. Like, we got involved in them because we interviewed Sylvia on the show to learn all about her side of the story and everything like that. And after it finished, me and Tom turned to each other and were like, we need to be involved with this foundation. We need to fly the flag for them, because it's so important, the work they're doing. Even if we could just do a tiny little bit to help, we want to do it.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. You seem to have had that exact same thing of like, whatever I can do, I just want to help.
Yeah, I want to give back, because, you know, being alternative affects every aspect of my life. It does. Like, you know, for all of us, any decision we make, anything going forward is, you know, because of us being ourselves. And, you know, just giving back that little bit because they've helped us live our day-to-day life is so important.
Absolutely. And I think, like you say, just knowing they're there. Just knowing there's someone looking out for us. I remember when we interviewed Silver, we called her our fairy goth mother. And I stand to it now.
I love that. That's amazing.
How did you get involved actually with the foundation? Obviously, I know you were doing charity work for them, but how did you get involved with working with them?
Well, the first time I contacted them was just, I made, like, before I actually put the event on, I emailed them and I was like, hi, I've been thinking about doing this. I'd like your consent for it, really. I wouldn't want to go ahead because, you know, like, if they'd have said no, I wouldn't have put it on. But, you know, I was waiting for them to say yes, because I wanted to make sure that they were involved as well. And after the first event, they contacted me and they were like, oh, do you want to do a Zoom call? And I was like, yeah, sure. Because I'd never actually met anyone from the foundation. It'd just been over emails. So I had a Zoom call with Dina, and she just explained kind of like more about the foundation, because, you know, I'm really like eager to learn more about it. There's always more to learn. And then she rang me again, this time with Alison, the CEO. Yes. And I was like, oh, okay. And they both asked me basically if I wanted to be an advocate. And I was like, fuck yeah. Like, it was just before my birthday as well. So I was like, that's the birthday present. That's the birthday present. And it made me feel so like seen as well, because it's like my work had paid off so I can help other people. And, you know, I don't know, it's such an honor and it's such an achievement for me to like get to this point that, you know, I can say that I work with them. And I don't know, I'm so proud when I tell people like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm an official advocate for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. It's just, I don't know, it makes my heart like, oh, I love it. It just makes me so happy.
Well, welcome, Amelia. It's an absolute pleasure to have you join us and be part of the team. It's wonderful to have you here.
One of us.
One of us. One of us.
I need the mosh pit. You need to get me in the mosh pit.
But no, I completely get it, because we were working alongside the foundation, like supporting them on the show and everything for quite a while, and then they sent like talking about the ambassador stuff. Me and Tom, we both had that like massive sense of pride. Pride. That's the one. Yeah. Like massive sense of pride, just because they asked us to do that, and it means the absolute world. Because, like I said, as we've said 100 times during this conversation, it's such an important charity, and what they're doing is phenomenal.
Yeah,
it really is. But I do want to mention, because you are in fact a performer yourself, studying opera, as you said. I saw a clip of you performing Cabaret, which was awesome. I saw a clip of you singing Radiohead's Creep, which, to quote my wife, went, damn, that girl got pipes. Which I thought, I mean, that's a review in itself, isn't it? Like, fuck it. You need to be releasing your own music, Amelia, because fucking hell.
I've just started a band. So, yeah. So it's kind of like gothic metal. Say like Evanescence meets Rammstein or something like that. Yeah, I don't know where we're going with it, but I want to do it, so it's gonna happen.
Because obviously I was being nosy. I was doing my research. I'm a good journalist. I was looking on your YouTube channel and I saw Polaroid, and I was like, "Fuck me, this girl needs to release music now!" Like, not now, yesterday. Like, give us some fucking music now. So to hear you're starting a band, that is absolutely incredible.
I'm trying to do some of my own like solo stuff, because I keep like doing little drafts and I never go through with it. And I don't know, I am very hard on myself, but I don't give myself the time to get my music out. And my music is the only like it's better than therapy. It is better than therapy, because like there's so much that I can't say that I can say through music, and that's one of the reasons why I listen to it as well. It's like people are speaking for me, because you know, you wouldn't think so, because I'm the mayor of Yappersville. I will just keep on yapping, but you know, sometimes I know sometimes it is so difficult for me to communicate because I'm autistic. I feel, you know, it's hard for me to get things like that across. And music is the one thing that has kind of given me that voice and being able to do that. You know, when I'm on the stage, suddenly I'm just like a completely different person, and I'm like, this is where I need to be. This is what I need to do. And yeah. And also I'm synesthetic, so writing music is very fun for me.
I don't know what that means, I'll be honest with you.
I?
So synesthesia is a mixture of senses. So instead of hearing music, I see it and I taste it, and it has different textures.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So I did this thing where like my friends will give me like a texture, and I think for a second, and I'm like, it's this song. So someone gave me Sandpaper, and Freak on a Leash is Sandpaper for me. Like I can feel it in my mouth.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's so cool.
So like when I write kind of like songs, it's a different colors that kind of, say I'm writing about a section of time, I kind of like I have an aura of colors around that section of time, and I try and get them the same in my chords. I just like I like seeing people's reactions to that, because I'm like, I sound like a crazy lady.
No, it's fascinating.
Now I think about it, I think that I have heard that expression before. There's a Porcupine Tree song by that name, so I do know that. I have heard that before. I didn't know what it meant though, so that's quite good. But now I'm just wondering. Yeah,
you learn something new every day.
You do. You really do. And I mean, you shouldn't be so hard on yourself. Should be. We're all our own worst critics. All of us are our own selves all the time. But if it helps you in it, you know what I mean, and you love it, put it out there. It doesn't matter if it's like a rough draft or whatever. You know, just put it out there, because it will find somebody. Somebody will find it and go, "Holy shit, this is unbelievable." which will then pass it to the next person, and that's just grows and grows and grows. And you know what I mean? There's always gonna be haters, there'll always be dickheads, no matter what. Do you know what I mean? But who cares?
Exactly.
Who gives a shit? So
Yeah.
you know, you should do it for you, Amelia.
Yeah. I think I need to strive with the thing that always kind of leads me. If I can change people with my music, like that would mean everything to me. Like, even if it's not my music, if I can just change people with music. Like, the first time that I felt that, I think I was doing like a requiem or something, with like a requiem mass. Like, I'm not religious or anything, but it was a very rewarding experience. I saw a lady on the front row, and when I was singing a solo in it, she had like tears in her eyes, and it wasn't because I was that bad, hopefully anyway. But but like, you know what I mean? When you've touched someone with music, and you've been on like the stage, and you've shown someone something, and they really resonate with it, that's just, it's like it's out of this world, that kind of feeling, like, oh my God. Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Or to have someone say your own lyrics back at you, I imagine would be the same.
Yeah. That's the dream. That's the dream, that I'm like, are people going to sing along with this?
Incredible. I think that is one thing that I think another part of the reason why alternative people are so close to each other is because that we all have that same passion for the music. Because at the end of the day, that's what brings us all together. It's all this common bond over alternative music, whether it's screamy, shouty death metal, or Nightwish operatic symphonic music, or classic rock, whatever it is. We all, if it's got drums and a guitar in it, fucking gimme. We all seem to love it. So I think showing how passionate you are about music proves why you are such a great ambassador for this community of being alternative. And I think it all blends together so well. And just keep fucking doing what you're doing, Amelia, because it's absolutely brilliant. It really is.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And
Go on, Jim. I'm
just going to say, and just I've also got to tip my hat to you as well, because you were saying like that earlier. You were saying, you know, you get these comments in public and stuff like that. But I've seen pictures and videos of you in public with the makeup, with the massive hair, the dresses, everything. You're not deterring it. You're not letting it stop you from being yourself. And I admire the fuck out of it. I really do. So if I was wearing a hat, I'd tip it. I really would. So fucking keep flying that flag.
If I strip my identity, then that's like, you know, that goes against everything that I stand for. I'm not changing myself because other people want me to. You know, that would just go against everything that I stand for. I can't say that, you know, I advocate for this charity if I don't, you know, stick to my guns, you know. I have to do this. You've got to be strong so other people can be strong too. We stand together.
Absolutely. We stand together. Beautiful. What a great way to put a bow on this. I love it. Anyway, sorry, Tom, I interrupted you.
No, it's absolutely fine. Yes. So, at the very beginning of this, obviously, you mentioned that you've just booked your first event for 2025, obviously, which is at the end of January in Manchester, which is the Goth Masquerade Ball, which I think is going to be unreal. And we definitely need more nights of this. How excited are you for this? And where did the idea for a big ball, masquerade ball, come from?
I don't know. It just came to me in my sleep. I was like, I wanted it to be on the 25th of January because I knew that was like, you know, a month after Christmas. Was the nightmare after Christmas.
Nice.
And I was literally looking for the first available January slot, and then because it was the 25th, I was like, nightmare after Christmas, and it's going to be a ball, and there's going to be masquerade stuff, and there's going to be burlesque and poetry and everything.
Oh, I love it. And you booked 3 bands already as well.
3 bands already. So we've got Drave, Terror and the Terror, and Dying Addiction, and you know, all of them seem very excited for it, and I've been following a lot of them for a while, so it's one of those weird feelings where you're like, I've been following you for a while and now you're working with me, and I'm like fangirling a little bit, but
love it.
No, I'm really excited for it. And also there is like no goth events in the Northwest, like anywhere in the UK, so I'm like, I need to put a goth event on because I need to rep my people. Rep my people.
It's a genius idea. That's what I'm saying to you earlier, because like there's no alternative nights anymore.
No.
Like There
Not
might
at
be the
all.
odd one in like Sheffield or Leeds or something where they have corporation
Yeah.
and they have the Key Club and stuff. Is it Key Club in Leeds? So
think
there's
so.
somewhere in Leeds anyway. But it's all random areas. There's no actual
Yeah.
like you go to Wolves or Coventry or Kent, and I can't imagine there's anything there.
No.
I don't want to go to Coventry to find out, to be honest.
That's fair. But Birmingham's got uproar. You've got uproar in Birmingham, so do you know what I mean? It just but
Yeah.
London probably has loads. But it's just it's all dotted. It's not everywhere. So I like the fact that you're bringing and it's fresh new ideas. Do you know what I mean? It's something completely different, and I think that's a great idea. And I really, really wish you every fucking success with it. I really do.
Thank you so much.
We basically stroked your ego for the past 10 minutes, haven't we? I've just realised.
No,
Yeah.
I don't even think I'm going to be able to fit out this door on the way out. My head's so
And if I can be there, I'll fucking be there as well.
Absolutely.
complimentary ticket. You'll be on the VIP list.
I'll stop
You'll
it.
be on the VIP list. I'll get the red. I know it has to be black carpet. It's goth on the
Good
black
point.
carpet.
Genius. That's fucking great itself.
Oh, fantastic. But before we do let you get out of here, I just want to ask, obviously we've just spoke then about how important music is to this community and how much it can help and whatnot. Is there like maybe a couple of songs that have like really helped you when you've been through a hard time that you might recommend people listening to in case they're going through a hard time?
Oh God, I'm gonna have to get out my whole like discography now.
Or just bands in general.
Again, I'm always gonna rep Korn. You know, Here to Stay is the one song that like proper like blasted me through uni. I felt like I had a rocket up my arse every time I felt, every time I put that on. That song never goes off. Definitely that. Or is it Cerise or Cerise by Ghost? That's like,
yeah,
I don't know. But good song. I feel like I will just come up with like some sort of inspiration playlist. But yeah, Here to Stay by Korn has to be listened to. Always has to be listened to. I'm gonna rep that right now.
I think Korn are an incredible band to mention because like there's so many different emotions in their band, like in their songs rather. Because I know Jonathan Davis has struggled with mental health himself, and he sang about that. There's all the stuff in the early albums of like his family, and then there's obviously quite angry songs. So they're a great shout for a band to listen to when you're struggling with your emotions.
I know, and it resonated with me like them as a whole because I know a lot of them had been through like substance abuse and alcoholism as well, and like a lot of their lyrics kind of reflect that. Like, that really helped me because I was like, I can do this as well. I can still be cool and not drink beer anymore, guys. It's fine. But no, it really helped because it was like I found a piece of myself that isn't just reflected. I'm worth more than just my drunk self or just my high self. I'm good as me. Yes, I'm good as me.
I think it's incredible that you kicked it and you beat it and everything else is absolutely phenomenal. So I worship at your feet. I'm not fucking worthy. But for me, obviously, because you went for the Untouchables album, the song "Alone I Break" is one of the when I was growing up, that fucking spoke to me. Do you know what I mean? That just absolutely. I would always listen to that song, always listen to it, and it did things to me. That track. I love the Thoughtless music video was fucking phenomenal as well. Falling Away From Me. We could go on and we could get Make Me Bad, Freak on a Leash, Got the Life, by the way. Fucking what a tune! I just loved that. You could march to that song. But Alone I Break was. I remember when I first heard it, and it just I don't know. I had like a fucking epiphany and experienced things so much differently. That song means a fucking lot to me. So good album choice, good song choice as well.
Yes,
good old Korn.
And also with another one out there. I'm putting this out here now. You know the MTV Unplugged that they did. I always have to show people the Make Me Bad in Between Days crossover that they did. That is literally It's my two personalities coming together, you know.
Plus Robert Smith going, "Make me bad," always makes me laugh.
Make me bad.
Oh,
Like, that's a vocal stim now. I always walk around the house, "Make me bad." Love it. I love it. I always have to info dump about that album to people. I'm like, so guys. And the Amy Lee Freak on a Leash with Amy Lee. Oh my God.
Oh, yes. Although I remember seeing them on what was it? MTV Icons Metallica, and they did a cover of One on that. I remember seeing that, and I was like,
this kit were on that as well.
Yes, and Sum 41 and Avril Lavigne and Snoop Dogg for some fucking reason. Snoop Dogg doing Sad But True, that was weird.
Snoop Dogg is allowed wherever the fuck he likes. Leave him alone.
That is a fair point, yeah.
He is a legend, that guy.
I know.
An absolute hero.
I've got his cookbook. I'll always fly the flag of Snoop Dogg. Oh, Amelia, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for taking the time out and chat to us. I know we spoke about some vulnerable things and some heartbreaking things, so I really appreciate you opening up and talking to us. It does mean the world.
Thank you for having me and for having such a safe platform to be on. That really means a lot.
I appreciate that.
Not at all. Have you got any social medias, any plugs, anything you want to put out into the world for people to check out?
Obviously, we've got Goth Frog Productions. My TikTok's Korn Frog, where you'll see me scatting like Jonathan Davis quite a lot. And my personal is Millie GRXY. You can see some outfits.
Yes. And encourage people that you can be yourself. Go out there and fucking be yourself.
You can be yourself. Fuck everyone else. If it makes you feel good, do it.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. This has been absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you.
Got a smile on me chops, so that's all that's good. Yeah! Serotonin!
But we look forward to
You've
seeing
been gone for so long.
Yeah. Where have you been?
Where are you? Sorry.
Seriously though, we look forward to seeing you at an event soon, whether it be your own or with the foundation or whatever. It'd be an absolute pleasure to meet you properly in person.
Absolutely.
Look forward to that day, but have an absolutely phenomenal evening. All right, and hopefully we'll speak to you soon.
Big love. Thank you so much.
Take it
Keep
easy.
Slaying.
Absolutely.
Always.
I'm off to watch RuPaul now.
Enjoy.
Hey.
Have the best time.
Now sashay away. Okay. Oh, my brain's rotting.
It's all good. Take care of yourself. We'll see you soon.
Take
Bye
care, Amelia.
bye.